Good morning, students. Our today's topic is total orthonormal sets and sequences. So the first theorem is, let M be a subset of an inner product space X. If M is total in X, then we have to prove that there does not exist any non-zero element X belonging to the inner product space X which is orthogonal to every element of M. It means there exists no non-zero element in the inner product space which is orthogonal to M. It means if any element X is orthogonal to M, then that element will be 0. Because X is orthogonal to M, it means X belongs to orthogonal complement of M. It means we can say that M orthogonal complement will be 0. In the second part, we will prove that if X is complete, then the converse of above is also true. Means we can say that the condition in the part A is also sufficient for the totality of M in inner product space X if X is complete. So let us first prove the first part. In the first part, we are given that M is total in X, and we will prove that orthogonal complement of M is 0. In order to prove this, let us take H be the completion of X. Completion of X means if X is inner product space, then its completion means its extension, that is a Hilbert space, which we have taken as H, means H is Hilbert space. Now we will use the property of completion. According to property of completion, for every inner product space there exists a Hilbert space and an isomorphism from X onto a dense subspace W of H. We use this property here because here X is inner product space, so we can take an isomorphism from X onto a dense subspace of H. That dense subspace we have taken as W. Now because W is dense in H, so by definition of dense, W closer is equal to H. Also X is isomorphic to W. So we have these two conditions by using the property of completion. Now because M is total in X, so by definition of total, we can say that the span of M is dense in X. It means span M closer is equal to X. Now X is isomorphic to W. Now taking closer throughout, we get from here, because M double closer is same as M closer, so span M double closer, that will be same as span M closer. So from here span M closer is equal to H. By definition, we have proved that span M is dense in H. Now we will use the dense subset lemma, which we already discussed. According to this lemma, if we have a Hilbert space H and M is any non-empty subset of H such that the span of M is dense in H, then orthogonal complement of M is 0, and converse of this is also true. So here, because span M is dense in H, by using this lemma here, we can say that orthogonal complement of M, that will be 0. So we have proved that if we take an arbitrary element orthogonal to M, that will always be 0. So this proves the first part. Now in the second part, let us take X is complete and also X is inner product space. It is given to us because X is complete inner product space. So by definition, we can say that X is Hilbert space. Now we are to prove that M, which is subset of X, that is total in X. Means we are to prove that span M closer is equal to X. And we are given that if we take an element X from inner product space X, which is orthogonal to M, then that element is 0. Now again we will use the same lemma, dense subset lemma, because we are given that orthogonal complement of M is 0. So by again this lemma, which is dense subset lemma, according to that lemma, if orthogonal complement of M is 0, then span of M is dense in H. So we can use this lemma here. By using this lemma, we can say that span M is dense in X. It means span M closure is equal to X. So this proves that M is total in X. So in the second part, you will have to prove dense subset lemma. So this completes the condition of totality for a non-empty subset M in inner product space X. Now there is another criteria for totality, which is given by the Parseval's identity. So the next theorem is an orthonormal set M in Hilbert space H is total in H if and only if for every X belonging to the Hilbert space H, Parseval's relation holds. Parseval's relation means the equality in Bessel's inequality, which is given by summation of inner product of X with EK mod square is equal to X norm square. Here inner product of X with EK, these are the non-zero Fourier coefficients corresponding to the orthonormal sequence EK. So this identity is called Parseval's identity. So we have to prove that if we have M total in H, then Parseval's identity holds, and vice versa. So let us first prove the first part. Let us consider for every X belonging to H, Parseval's relation holds, and we are to prove that M is total in H. By definition, if we are to prove that M is total in H, we will use the last theorem. According to that theorem, M is total in H if the orthogonal complement of M will be 0. So we will prove this result, and we will prove the result by contradiction. Let us suppose M is not total in H. Now, if M is total in H, then every non-zero element which is orthogonal to M, that becomes 0. But here, because M is not total in H, it means there exist non-zero element which will be orthogonal to M, and this element will be in the Hilbert space H. Now because X is orthogonal to M, it means the inner product of X with every element of M, that will be 0. It means inner product of X with EK are 0 for every K. So from here we can say that the square of mod of inner product of X with EK, that is also 0, because this condition is true for every K. So the sum of all these terms, that will also be 0. Now using this value in the Parseval's identity, from there, because this quantity is equal to X norm square, now therefore from there X norm square is also 0, because norm is non-negative quantity. If X norm is 0, X will also be 0, but that gives us a contradiction because we have taken X non-zero. So this contradiction proves that our assumption is wrong and M is total in H. Now we will prove the converse part. Conversely, we are given M is total in H, and we are to prove that Parseval's relation holds. So in order to prove it, let us consider any X belonging to H, and let us take its non-zero Fourier coefficients. Then we can arrange these Fourier coefficients in a sequence. These Fourier coefficients are given by inner product of X with E1, inner product of X with E2, and so on. They can be arranged in the form of a sequence. This result we have already discussed, which is called Fourier coefficients lemma. So that lemma we are using here. And also we can define an element Y, which is the sum of the series given by summation inner product of x with ek into ek. Now if this is infinite, then its convergence again follows from the same lemma. Now we will prove that x minus y is orthogonal to the subset M. So in order to prove this, let us consider every Ej which is occurring in the series which we have defined by y is equal to summation inner product of x with ek into ek. So here alpha k are Fourier coefficients. Now let us find the inner product of the element x minus y with ej. So by using the property of linearity in the inner product, this will become inner product of x with ej minus inner product of y with ej. Now substituting the value of y here, y is summation alpha k ek, where the summation is over all k. Now by using the property of inner product, these scalars can be taken outside from the first argument. Inside we have inner product of ek with ej. Now the sequence ek, that is orthonormal sequence. So by definition, if the two suffixes are different, then the inner product of the distinct elements, that will be 0. And if the two suffixes are same, that will become inner product of ej with ej. That will be 1 because the sequence is orthonormal. Therefore, the norm of every element, that will be 1. So in this summation, we are left only with one term. All the remaining terms will be 0. Only one term when k is equal to j. Only that term is obtained. And corresponding to that term, this will become inner product of ej with ej. That will be 1. So we get this term as alpha j. Also by definition, alpha j we have defined by inner product of x with ej. So these two terms are cancelled out. So we have proved that x minus y has the inner product with ej as 0. Now those elements of M which are not in this sequence, the inner product with x is 0 because we have taken non-zero Fourier coefficients in the sum which we defined in the series star. Therefore, for every v belonging to M which is not contained in this series, we have inner product of that element with x is 0. Now let us find inner product of x minus y with v. By using the property of linearity, this will become inner product of x with v minus inner product of y with v. Substituting the value of y here and again using the property of inner product, we have obtained inner product of x minus y with v is equal to inner product of x with v minus summation alpha k into inner product of ek with v. Now v and ek, these are different elements, and the set M has the elements as orthogonal because the set M is orthonormal. So the inner product of every two different elements, that will be 0. So this term is 0. And also inner product of x with v, that is also 0. Thus we have proved that the inner product of x minus y with v, that is 0. Thus we have proved that x minus y is orthogonal to M. And by definition, those elements which are orthogonal to M, they belongs to the orthogonal complement of M. So x minus y belongs to M orthogonal complement. Now because we are given M is total in H, by definition of total, span M is dense in H. Again by using the lemma, if span M is dense in H, then orthogonal complement of M, that is 0. It means this element will also be 0. So we get x minus y is equal to 0. It means x and y are same. Now let us consider x norm square. By definition, x norm square means inner product of x with itself. Now because x and y are same, so we can write it as inner product of y with y. Now substituting the value of y in both the arguments and taking the scalars outside, inside we have inner product of ek with em. Now again, by using the definition of, because the sequence Ek is orthonormal, if K and M are different, this product will be 0. If K and M are same, then this product will be 1. So in this summation, we get only one term when K and M are same. So when K and M are same, this will become inner product of Ek with Ek, and that will become 1. So inside we have inner product of X with Ek into conjugate of inner product of X with Ek. And by definition, this is the square of mod of inner product of X with Ek. Thus, we have obtained X norm square is equal to inner product of X with Ek mod square with summation here over all K. And this identity is called Parseval's identity. Thus, we have proved the converse also. So, this completes the criteria for the totality.